Hello and welcome to Safe Space, episode 13, the penultimate episode of Safe Space.
Yes. Season 1.
Of season 1. Of season 1, yes. Yes, because unless all my players...
renewed.
There's something to look forward to.
Hey.
No, if you're watching this is, of course, a live tabletop role-playing show where a few friends get together, roll some dice, and play the Mothership game system from the awesome Tuesday Night Games, which you can get from mothershiprpg.com. Fantastic book you should all check out. My name is Vince Hunt, and I am the Game Master / Warden for the evening, and I'm very pleased, as always, to be joined by 4 wonderful players, tricksters, cheeky folk one and all, who will no doubt surprise me with their character choices. And who are they? Jim, you've done this, and look, this is episode 13. You can't get out of it now, son.
Yeah. I'm ZAM BRAZEL, and I will be playing Jim. I'm Jim, and I will be playing ZAM BRAZEL.
And I'm Lizzie Boyle, and I'll be playing Wendy.
I'm Gavin, and I'll be playing Blaze KELVIN.
I'm PJ, and I am playing Dr. Bill FORREST.
And all those characters are just as fun as the people playing them. And at the moment, this is a game where lots of people, when it comes to tabletop role-playing games, they always say never split the party. But if you've been watching this season, there's many times where the party are off doing different things, and this episode is no different. In fact, we start the whole of last episode, I believe, players. I think you were all off doing your own little investigations, training, mini arcs. Or
Zam is.
Or, yeah. Oh. Well, we'll see what happens when he catches up with the rest of them this week. But this is a survival horror game, a science fiction survival horror game, in fact. And you never know when there may be depictions of psychological horror, gore, violence, monsters, nightmarish visions. Something I can dream up just to creep my players out, but hopefully I don't give you lovely people at home nightmares. So if that's not your bag, feel free to pull the ripcord and leave now. If you're watching this episode, I imagine that you're already borne witness to the sort of stuff that I drop on these players that I think has genuinely affected the friendships that I have with them. Yes, they're not saying anything, and I think that speaks volumes. So as our friendships crumble, I think we should go ahead and get started on this week's episode of Safe Space. Last session, our crew were settled in for their first week of downtime on the mining colony of Cassius Prime. ZAM BRAZEL, intoxicated, found himself doing something that was very much unexpected to everyone. He enjoyed himself. Thanks to the pleasant company of some of the colony workers who saw him drowning his sorrows in the bar The Last Call. Despite Jim doing whatever he could to not enjoy himself, the dice forced him to enjoy himself. However, in the bar named Macready's, the atmosphere was less jovial, as security arrived to make sure everything was okay after Wendy laid waste to a group of disgruntled miners. Everything was fine, and the group also ended up boozed up and stumbling back to their quarters. And so, over the first week of their stay, each of the crew busied themselves in their own way while they waited for the Gibbous Incorporated AA service, the maintenance people, to come and fix their hyperdrive. Dr. Forrest and Sarah Madigan tried to get a message home, but found that the station was having long-range communication issues due to unresponsive relays and malfunctioning surface radar dish that may have been sabotaged. The Doctor also met with the general practitioner on the colony, and not only found a kindred spirit, but was able to spend some time looking through textbooks and sharing knowledge, which helped him deal with some of his recent traumas. At least for now. After her brawl, Wendy went looking for more excitement. Or trouble. She met with Stockton, the miner she had beaten up the night before. She offered him a sandwich and asked him where she could find more fun in a place that seemingly didn't offer much. He was dubious, but told her about an opportunity that sounded very much like a fight club. Blaze KELVIN also busied himself with staying fit and spent time in the gym, specifically the boxing gym, and took great delight in taking on any challenger and knocking them on their backsides. This got the attention of someone else in the gym, a fella named Banjo Flanagan.
Red Flan!
So we know his first pet and his mother's maiden name.
Banjo saw how formidable Blaze was between the ropes, and so he told him about an opportunity that sounded very much like a fight club. Meanwhile, ZAM BRAZEL was concerned about getting off this rock as soon as possible, and was impatiently looking for a way to fix the hyperdrive coils. He did find someone useful, the habitat maintenance engineer known as Fletcher, who could not only fix tech, but was also looking for trade. ZAM, with Captain Austin, offered him the old tape the crew recovered from the relay station Echo 237. The, quite frankly, odd tech wizard traded with them for it, and even managed to retrieve the audio message, although what they heard was quite shocking. It was the last recording of Darwin Buchanan, an echelon executive who was aboard the Icarus. He spoke of the project and how someone named Regis may have cut corners to disastrous effect. The message ended with him seemingly taking his own life, before a strange and horrific screech blasted from the speakers, and then infiltrated its way over the speakers of the entire station. This noise was painful, and it also had an adverse effect on Sarah, who was with Dr. Forrest when this happened, and not only suffered a severe trauma from the event, but had also sensed that the monstrous ship, the Icarus, may have heard the sound and announced that the monstrous ship may now be heading their way. Not only that, but maybe, just maybe, something else was awoken. But we'll have to see what happens there.
Good one, Sam.
No regrets.
If you watched last episode, I have to say, viewers, listeners, Jim was so gutted at the end of it. I was so pleased because it just seemed to work perfectly. But this week, we open up on pitch black. And then you hear the sounds of heavy mechanical clanking, something being shifted about before a hatch opens up. The creak of the hatch happens at the same time that light is illuminated into the space below, into a dark corridor, and two figures climb down this ladder into this dark corridor. One of them clicks on a flashlight and takes the lead, gesturing to the tall figure behind them as the hatch closes behind them. Banjo looks to you, Blaze. Like, It's this way. Follow me, it's this way. So he's holding the light. Blaze, you...
If you're sure.
Oh, trust me, mate. I know where I'm going. Banjo never gets lost. And yeah, you follow the lead of of Flanagan.
Tiny puppy.
And you met this fella in order to take part in an off the books bit of stress relief in the form of a bare knuckle fight.
Oh.
No, that's another role entirely. As they're walking through these corridors and there's just the sound of like heavy boots on metal girding and flooring. Paint us a picture, Gav. How is Blaze dressed for such an occasion? Is what he's about to step into.
I would picture just standard work overalls, like a boiler suit, but underneath I've got my boxing shorts, and my hands are bandaged.
Oh.
Ready for a fight?
Oh, I certainly hope so, mate. I'm looking to win a few credits tonight. If you're anything like you were in the gym, it's a surefire success.
You line them up, I'll knock them down.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. And earlier that day, you met this figure on the edges of the living complex, which you and the rest of the crew have been sort of socialising with and just spending some downtime. And he led you off the thoroughfare and down a maintenance hatch into a bunch of tunnels and vents that ran literally underneath the living complex itself. These maintenance tunnels that run underneath. And it isn't long before Flanagan brings you to a part of it, just around the corner, that opens up. Yellow halogen lights sort of flicker almost like candles, and it sets a bit of ambience to this setting, as does the 40 or so sort of miners and workers and colony workers that stand around sort of talking, betting, some of them smoking. They're getting ready for what's to come. There's a few sort of large metal storage crates, they're about 4 or 5 sort of feet tall. Those, quite large things. Some of them are using them as seats or sort of leaning against them. And you get the sense that they're no stranger to these sort of impromptu sort of meetups and off the books sort of like fights. You see some flasks of booze being passed from person to person, clearly some kind of homemade booze. One of them stands by sort of like a worker radio, like a sort of like a not a builder's radio, but it's definitely a workman's sort of a radio that they're monitoring it just in case anyone were to drop by, and you see them occasionally like flick the switches and they listen to certain bits. Banjo, as they approach, you see some people looking at you and nodding their heads, some of them giving you a shifty look. Banjo says, right, stay here, limber up or whatever it is you do, and yeah, we'll get rolling in a few minutes.
Banjo! Can you put a bet on for me?
Oh, you want? Yeah, fine, yeah, I can put a bet on. How much you want to bet?
5k on Blaze.
5 what?
5k.
5 grand.
Come to it. I'm spending $5,000.
You've got the cheddar, yeah?
Blaze reaches deep into his pants.
That's not what I wanted to hear.
Sorry, Vince.
Brings out some cheddar. Yes, well.
Yeah. Or whatever. Do we have cash, or is it just like a credit?
It's not like coins and yeah, but
I imagine it's like a credit card.
Yeah. If you say you're good for it, well, if you say you're good for it, mate, then let's hope you win, eh?
I always bet on Blaze.
Right. Well, if with that in mind, there's going to be a few people betting on you, I think. With that in mind, I just got to talk to some folk about this before we get going. And as you're sort of limbering up, you see sort of Flanagan step over to some other workers and begin discussing the fight. He clearly mentions the money at some point, because you see some of them sort of go. And it's clearly a number that they're not used to. These are miners, these are colony workers. They're betting smaller sums. So it's like, You think one of them that's talking to Banjo, you think you recognise from a few nights before. He approaches this guy and you can see a couple of gestures in your direction, a few nods of the head. He's a big, stocky dude. His face looks a little bit swollen in places, but he's sort of looking at Banjo and then looking at you and and then you see the fighting ring, for what it, if you could term it that. The floor itself has been modified somewhat. There's a sort of like a 15 by 15, well 20, probably 20 by 20 square foot has been marked out with like thick black maintenance cables, very makeshift sort of pipes and cables just on the ground. And a couple of like the workers do sort of approach you and start complimenting you on your work in the boxing gym, and like, you know, they saw what you did to a couple of their friends, or not necessarily friends and such.
I ignore them.
And they're like, oh, okay, and they walk away. And you see, as Banjo says, like, after a while, people are getting a little bit rowdy, and he's like, okay, people, alright, everyone settle down. Right, we've got 2 newbies here with us tonight. Out of towners, if you will. But you know the drill. No names. It's just red corner versus blue corner. Right. In the blue corner, a fellow some of you may have seen putting some of our buddies on their asses in the boxing gym. Step forward, my man. And he beckons towards you, Banjo. You see someone go, hey, hey. And in the red corner, and a figure steps out, who must have arrived a little bit earlier. They step forward and enter the opposite corner, and you immediately recognise them. What does Wendy look like?
She is going to kick your ass.
Yep.
So Wendy is still, she's wearing her kind of day wear, just overalls. Like, she is not stripped down for this fight. She is like just wearing everyday kind of overalls. It did dawn on me that Wendy shaved her head about a week ago, so she's probably a little bit fuzzy now, which is always a good look. Nothing on her hands, nothing different about her. She could have just literally got up, had her coffee, and come to say good morning to you. Just chill.
Wendy, get out of the ring. I'm waiting for my opponent.
And they're all sort of like, some of the workers are sort of looking between each other, sort of like, some of them are like, do they know each other? Stockton sort of, yeah, it's fine. Okay, so we've got blue versus red. You've heard the stories of red here. They haven't necessarily been in the gym, but they certainly made a mark and left a few teeth on the floor as well. So it's going to be a bit of a tasty one this evening, I think, ladies and gents. So before we get started, and it's dawning on you now, Blaze, who normally we have a few rules around here. We usually say that there's no eye gouging, breaking or damaging of anything someone's going to need to do their job, because usually a lot of us have to work the next day, so we can't be using the equipment if someone's broken all our fingers, can we? However, seeing as you two don't work here, feel free to do whatever it takes to win. So, and at this, Stockton sort of sits back and you see a big grin. He's missing a few. But he's sort of grinning and takes a sip of booze as Flanagan continues. Right, place your creds. And remember, fight always keeps going until someone drops or throws up the sign to give up. Red and blue, we all good with that?
Banjo.
And Banjo sort of wanders over. Yeah? What is it?
What the fuck is this?
Well, that's your opponent, isn't it?
That's my shipmate.
What? Is it? Well, fancy that.
Came on the same ship here.
Well, fancy
I can't
that.
fight her.
Well, do you think she'll fight you?
I look over his shoulder.
I mean, look, mate, there's a lot of money riding on this. You put 5k on yourself.
That's before I knew it was Wendy.
Well, a bet's a bet, my friend. I've seen you knock people on their asses.
She's not any. She's not people.
It looks like people to me. She hasn't even got any gym gear on. She's just dressed in her civvies.
That's what worries me.
I look at Stockton and his fucked up face.
And he gives you a wink. You can't look. You can't back out now. This is we put this together. You know. You'll be able to do it. Come on, I've got money on you.
Hope it wasn't much. Okay, ring
Well,
the bell.
5k. Yeah. Good. Yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Look at that. Look at that. Solid muscle. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to invade your space.
Let's just get on with it.
As he goes
Vince,
back.
how many people in the crowd?
There's about 40 to 50. It's a decent.
Okay.
It's a decent little crowd. And there's a couple of like Stockton's goons who are sort of near where you were. You know, you Stockton led you in here. Of course, you had a similar route in, but it was him and his buddies. And he was talking about, and he did say something about, got a good opponent for you, someone that's going to be a bit of a challenge, you know. But he's confident. He's confident you'll be able to take them down. The other's like, yeah. So if you do any of that shit that you did on us, you know, this could make us a lot of money, you know. Cool. And they all just. It's like, and you hear Stockton going, "What are you trying to fucking talk to her for? You don't fucking talk to us." And I can just picture Wendy just stood there staring at Blaze. Okay. Although the fact that Lizzie said, "How many people are there?" Okay. Right then. So, everyone ready? You fighters ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, she speaks. Right then. Fight. And Banjo quickly sort of gets out of the way like... And he backs away. And the two of you, as the crowd like, "Hooray!" Proper sort of rowdy. Now, you're stood there. What are you doing?
We will mime bad boxing for 20 minutes.
Okay, Wendy.
I'm saying it. I'm trying to say this quietly, just to Wendy, but the voice can't do that.
Okay, Wendy, let's put on a good show, but we don't need to get real heavy.
How is it?
I'm sorry, what?
Blaze. Do we need to stop doing the boxing?
You don't need to. But please, yes. Method act this whole thing.
That's how I get into the space.
Yeah, do it. Look. I'm sorry, I didn't mean. Whatever your method is, do it. So are you?
More of a grabber than a puncher. Anyway.
Are you going to fight? It's all cheering you on.
I kind of want to go in and maybe you're not wearing much, are you? Have you got hair?
No,
not
Blake.
much.
No.
It's quite closely cropped.
Now.
And I've oiled up as well.
Oh, God. Can I go in and sort of try and kind of go for a headlock, but probably just grab an ear? It's the nearest available thing to grab hold of.
Oh, she's grappled me.
Okay. God, are you trying to do a performance now?
No, I just want to say something to him.
Oh,
okay.
Before we start.
I mean, the crowd are sort of like, so if you're fairly close,
A kind of melee.
Yeah, you can be sizing each other up and.
Blaze, why aren't you a Marine anymore?
What? You want to talk about this now?
I want to talk about this now.
This isn't the right time.
Oh, it's the perfect time.
Beat his head in!
Kick her ass! I was discharged.
and I break the grapple.
I'm going to get you to make rolls in a minute. Okay, right, but go on. The DM is allowing this. The warden's allowing this. Go on.
Tell me what you did. I'll let you win.
Just sort of
It's so
circling
oily.
and like padding.
Had him in a headlock and his head just slipped out. Ugh.
Oh, you'll let me win, will ya?
You know, I will.
Are you going to say
Can
something?
we do a grapple?
Or are you going to attack?
A grapple? Attack? Not a punch.
Okay. Well then. Because Wendy doesn't necessarily know this is coming. She's waiting for you. So I would say make a speed check, both of you.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 55, which is technically a critical fail.
I did a 31, which is a success.
Okay. Take a point of stress, Wendy. And you don't get a chance to react because you're waiting for him to say something. And he launches forward to try and grapple you. It's up to you how you perceive that. But Zam, you managed to get a hold on her. Now, Wendy, I will say this: when Blaze grabs you, what is Wendy's instinct?
It's slightly to recoil from how oily he is.
I think that's how we all feel. But
But she's in a cartoon. She'd be winding up her arm, but not punching. Do you know what I mean? It's that kind of readiness, but not actually.
Okay.
But it's a controlled movement rather than an instinctive one.
Yeah.
Are we? So
you're grappled
kind of
yet?
got me.
You haven't started fighting yet.
And I don't know quite which way I'm going.
As like there's a sort of grapple happening, and people are like, "Hey!" and waiting for something to kick off.
I say to Wendy,
I don't want to talk about it.
and I leg sweep her.
Oh, right, okay.
Or, you know, like...
Yeah, make a combat...
Judo.
Yeah. Make a combat check. And then we'll see if this kicks off. Are you adding anything to that?
It's 100. all three zeros.
Yeah. When he says, I don't want to talk about it, then there is a violent kick to your legs and you are upended and you hit the floor hard and the back of your head cracks against the floor. You take 1 point of damage from that. And then we're probably gonna have a fight. I'd imagine.
Sorry, Lizzie.
The way the fight is gonna work is this.
I literally set this all up.
Yeah.
It's my fault. Don't apologise.
Yeah. Well, this is mechanically how it could go. The game can go in all directions, of course, but just for the people at home and you lovely players. Now, if they were to trade unarmed blows backwards and forwards, they're two Marines. They have, if I believe correctly, you have 3 lines of health. We'd be here for 3 days trying to have this fight. So instead, it's basically going to be 3 rounds and the best of 3 for each round. So each round is your wound. Don't worry, no one's going to die in this, but they may go unconscious. That's what might happen at the end of this. So instead of your health track, it is now just the 3 wounds. Okay? So we're going to, depending on how it goes, we're going to talk out the actions, see who wins and loses, and see what happens. So round 1, both roll a combat check. If at any point you want to throw in the towel or suggest something else narratively, say so. But otherwise, we're rolling combat. Okay. Wendy, what did you get?
40, which is a success.
What did Blaze get?
56, which is a fail.
Which is a fail. What is the... So, how do you react, Wendy? You're on the floor.
I'm on the floor. I am going to grab him, possibly by the shorts as the only kind of non-greasy item, and maybe in like that arm, but with nails, you know, kind of proper grip, and sort of pull him downwards a bit and say to him, you want to know why I left?
No, I just want you to let go.
You have it. You have an option, Wendy. If you wanna, you can say something or hit him before we roll again.
Can I, having sort of pulled him down to speak to him, can I just kind of flip him down a bit so the side of his head bashes on the floor?
Oh God, yes. She pulls Blaze, bang, to the floor. I'll let you know when you lose that wound. By the way, the 3 wounds. So Blaze, you smacked onto the floor, and people are like, oh, and yet it is a ringing, and but you're both sort of lying next to each other on the floor now. Next check. Roll combat.
So is that a wound for me or
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
Wendy, what did you get?
92.
Blaze, what did you get?
76.
So you're both sort of like just stunned for this round. Like, you know, Wendy, your head's still ringing. So it's sort of like, oh, after the initial, you're seeing stars for this round. So you don't manage to get another hit in. So no one won or lost that one. Give me a combat check.
Ooh.
PvP on Safe Space, people. This is what you're here for.
13.
32.
Oh, so you got was that a success, Blaze?
Yeah.
So, Blaze, what do? You get a shot in first. So you do manage to hit her because it was a success. So I imagine that you are sort of. What's the first thing you do, Blaze?
Are we both standing now? I'm assuming
You're
we
both on the.
got up.
Well, you can both groggily. I would imagine that you both sort of groggily got up and sort of blinking.
Come on then. Why'd you leave the Marines?
And I gut punch.
Oh! And as he gut punches, you're sort of ready for it, Wendy. So you take the hit, and then what do you do? As he came in, he's in your grill now. He's in the danger zone. Sorry. It's just so exciting.
Oh, there's that Adam's apple just looking at me, isn't there?
I won't be able to tell you anything if you hit that.
Yeah, it's true. But it's just there.
As you take away his first wound of the fight, this is going to hurt. What you're going to do is you win the first of 3.
So what, do you punch it or?
Do you
Yeah,
punch?
I'm just punching you in the throat.
Oh!
Wendy didn't go to like boys fighting school.
She gets gut checked and then immediately out of
There's no
nowhere.
Queensbury rules here, all right?
So you lost the first wound. Okay.
Son of a bitch.
And it's the best of 3, so if Wendy wins this one, she could take you out on this. Blaze is sort of
So it's not first of 3, best of 3.
best of 3. Yeah. I thought we'd probably be here a lot longer. Although, do you want a chance, Gav? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
We can have the. I mean, I'm going to throw this open to Jim and PJ. What do you think? First of 3 or best of 3?
I just want to watch it for a while.
Okay. First of 3.
Go for it.
We're going to go first of 3, and this is going to be pretty. So, this is full on action movie. Just kicking the crap out of
Pretend
each
I'm a
other.
random guy in the crowd.
Body bag, Johnny.
Yeah. Okay. So Wendy has won the first round. This first of 3. Okay. Combat checks immediately as it kicks off again.
95?
95.
I'm kind of oscillating wildly.
Yeah. Blaze, what did you get?
90.
Jesus.
Okay. So there's a moment where everyone's like, hey, come on then. As you're both, I mean, Blaze, you're probably not doing, you're trying to breathe. And Wendy, you stop for a moment like, oh, did I hit too hard? And then you shrug that off and do another combat check. I love how my players just want to really attack each other now. Wendy?
48.
Fail?
If I can use my athletics, it's not a fail. But if we're not using athletics, then it is a fail, just.
79. Fail.
Then I will say no one gets a hit in, but Wendy, you get in closer. So because you failed the least.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just doing this on the fly now, people. This is crazy. This is carnage. You're rushing in now, so you're within eye range, which probably means you'll have advantage on the next roll
Okay.
because you're moving in. Combat checks for both. Remember, depending on what you want to do, tell me what would you'd like to add.
I mean, I'm just adding hand-to-hand combat
Hand-to-hand.
check.
Cool,
for
yeah.
mine, that's-
Yeah. Well, Blaze isn't having a good one if he's adding that, because normally that does him in the boxing ring.
Yeah.
Huh. So that was a 44. which is a critical success.
Oh, God.
However, Wendy is still doomed, which means that critical successes become critical failures.
Blaze, what did you roll?
32 success.
Haymaker.
You're going to get her twice.
Oh, Jesus.
You're going to get her twice, which means immediately you'll take off a wound. So when she runs in, are you literally just throwing everything into a punch?
Left hook, uppercut.
Oh, you feel your jaw rattle. You lose a wound, Wendy. And all of a sudden the crowd, "Way!" Something. And now you've got a fight on.
And Wendy's just there with the biggest smile on her face.
Spits up some. You taste copper in your mouth. You taste. Maybe.
You want to know? You're going to have to beat it out of me.
Oh, God. This is so exciting. Roll a combat check.
Quick, write your backstory while we're fighting.
Yeah,
I know.
Jim and PJ have been messaging each other and are placing bets as we speak. Okay. Wendy.
43 success.
Success.
41 success.
Oh, the higher success.
That's with my plus 15 combat thing.
So, you both clock each other. So you both get a hit in on this one. Wendy, you hit him first. How do you hit him after your?
So I've been like, boof, boof. So I'm probably going to have to come rushing back in. And maybe I'm just going to try and rugby tackle round the waist.
And as the wind
push him.
As she pushes the air out of your lungs, Blaze, and you're forced back, and you hit one of the metal crates like bang, and people are like, "Hey!" Like miners are getting out of the way. How do you then react? Saying inflict some damage of your own.
Can I kick her feet out?
Yep.
Oh.
He kicks Wendy's feet out, and you hit the floor, Wendy. You're face down, and blazes over the top of you. Oh, God.
How's it taste, Wendy?
And another.
Tastes like home.
Whoever wins this one could win the second round. Okay, go for it.
$64.
Fair. Blaze.
40.
Success.
Yeah.
What do you do, Blaze, to take off her second wound? Is she's just starting to get up?
I'm staying on the floor and I'm laughing at the moment.
God, he's gonna kick her while she's down.
Yeah, I kick her in the stomach.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
But at the same time...
yeah.
As long as you do it in that voice, it's okay, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those thick tree trunk legs move you a couple of feet, Wendy, as he punches you, and you skid across the floor. People are like, "Hey!" And did you feel something pop or crack? No. But it was a hefty kick as Wendy slowly gets to her feet. Roll your combat checks.
Sticking with these dice, even though they're rubbish tonight. And I am rewarded with a 73, which sucks.
Oh, no.
No, it's definitely a 7.
What did you get, Gav?
33.
Blaze KELVIN. How do you end this fight? As Wendy's just starting to get up. She's got a smile on her face. And blood over her mouth.
Scissor kick, Van Damme style.
No shouting from the crowd.
Yeah.
Sam?
There is an opportunity.
Can...
I didn't expect to make my players feel uncomfortable by beating each other up. this week, but that's what you watch this show for, people.
So I know it's winning a combat check. Is it possible I walk over to her while she's laughing and spitting blood and extend a hand to help her up?
Do you want to forego that win? That winning chance? Yeah. Then he doesn't take his shot, and you know he didn't take it, Wendy. As you still
feet, Marine.
You're still trying to catch your breath, and you knew there was a moment. So he has. You gonna keep the fight going though, Gav? You're just helping her out.
Yeah, I'm not fighting.
You're not fighting.
No.
Is Wendy? You hear Blaze say, "On your feet." What are you gonna do? The crowd
Wendy
baying for
gets
blood.
to her feet and kind of stands to attention.
You hear the crowd like, you hear sort of like real round of like, what the? This isn't what I. This isn't. You're supposed to finish her off. Kick him in the balls.
Zam!
Zam's drunk with the rest of his mates. Kick him! Yeah. As like these group are really surprised. What are you guys doing? And you can see like Stockton and his friends and Banjo are like,
As soon as I help her up, I surprise punch her right in. No. No, just
Let's say we forget this and I'll tell you about it over a drink.
what the fuck? The fuck is this? You were supposed to fight each other. Yeah,
Stow it, scumbag!
Was that Banjo?
That was Stockton.
Stockton.
Yeah.
Um,
I got good money on
Wendy-
this.
Hey, guess what? Tag. And pull Stockton into the ring.
Okay, as this guy stumbles in.
And go to walk off to go and have a drink with Blaze.
So you are both going back, just turning your back on this crowd. It's going, hey, and you hear Banjo going, we want that 5k. You're not getting that money back. As you disappear. around the
Blaze
corner.
thinks, oh fuck, but then carries on walking.
Yeah.
Did you bet on that?
I didn't know it was gonna be you.
Okay. If I'd known that, I would have,
But you didn't bet.
No. That's for fools.
Yeah, like a couple of cowboys off into the sun.
Yeah. As you walk off, and there's a couple. There's a few.
You're still kind of naked and slightly bloodied.
Yeah.
Or in little
Glistening.
pants.
Yeah, glistening. Wendy's got a bloody mouth. As you head off, probably taking one of the workers' torches so you can find your way back. Some of them just giving you a nasty look as you walk off. As you begin to walk off, you hear on the radio like there seems to be a buzzing, almost like a mobile phone getting, that sort of that sort of buzzing that it does when it gets an incoming message. It just gets louder and louder and louder. For all of a sudden, a high-pitched shriek comes through this radio, and it echoes behind you. So much so, it's pretty loud. It doesn't make you hold you're far enough away that it doesn't hurt your ears. But you do hear a lot of people going, fuck! It's a crazy noise. And also you kind of, it's strange because even though it echoes through these corridors, it feels like you can hear it further ahead as well a little bit. Before you hear like a crackle and a pop and something goes, like there's a small bang behind from where you came, and people going, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" As their radio dies. But it was just very strange, and then it all goes quiet again. It was
I hate modern music.
That was some good work there. You got
I
a...
got lucky.
Yeah.
Not so bad yourself. I saw what you did in the bar.
Yeah, they just made me mad in the bar. They were just,
They had it coming.
there.
You vaguely think you hear some noise as if something was knocked over. Just ahead of you.
Flashlight? Point at it?
As you point the flashlight down the corridor, you see there's a flash of something. Something moves, just disappears around the corner.
You see that?
Yeah. Suddenly I'm... Yeah.
Are we carrying on?
Where's the hatch?
Whether you have the corridor right ahead of you,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to walk down it, the thing disappeared like about 30 feet ahead. It went round the corner, so you have to walk past where it went in.
What are we doing? We're big slabs of meat. Whatever it is, we can take it on.
Both make a
I need it.
Ah!
both make a fear save. And I only asked that because the way you both reacted.
Yeah, I think that was the players reacting, not the characters. Hey, she's back.
Success, Wendy?
40 success.
94. Fail.
You go first, Wendy.
Okay. So you just get 1 stress for that, Blaze. And you slowly step forward down this corridor.
I will go first.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And as you get to the intersection point, the sort of the T junction where this thing went down, you look down. There's nothing there, and the path ahead of you is quite clear.
Cool.
You do see there's a little bit on the wall on the corridor where it went down. There seems to be another bit of graffiti of some kind.
Can we figure out what it says? Or...
Do you want to shine are you shining your torch down there?
Yeah, I mean the ducks seem interested in this stuff.
How long are you lingering on it? You just so you can read it enough.
2 seconds.
2 seconds. I'm going to make a roll. See which one it says. It says, "This planet doesn't want us."
Yeah.
What planet does?
Exactly. Come on.
And you head back. Head back to the main thoroughfare. They are miming everything this week.
It's the Marine way.
Meanwhile, up above on the main thoroughfare, Doc Forrest, and you probably wondered, folks, when it all kicked off at the end of the last session, why aren't you asking for checks? Because I knew we were going to cut back and then lead up to this point. Now, the 2 Marines walked away from the noise so they didn't hear it as well. But as soon as that noise goes over the airwaves, for want of a better term, Zam and Doc, could you make me a Which check is it? I think it's a fear. No, a sanity save, please.
God. $89.
Fail. Okay. Doc.
69 fail.
Okay. With this one, could you both roll me a panic check, please?
Like we have to get higher than our stress.
You
don't
have
we?
to get for panic checks. You have to get higher than the number that you currently have.
Oof, that's good. Then I got a 15.
Also got a 15. Currently on 9 for stress.
So you do not
Six.
panic, but there's something about that noise and everything recently. I mean, Zam was right there. It's understandable that he has this check at that point because he was right there when it all kicked off. But Doc, you shake it off, and there's the girl in front of you just sobbing, and she's still got. She's not still bleeding. It's almost like there's burst blood vessels, and there is the remnants of blood from her nose and her ears and her mouth. But she's, apart from being absolutely traumatized and scared to death, she seems in decent health. She doesn't seem like anything's changed. Oh God, what do we? Oh, Doctor, what does it mean? What are we going to do?
First thing we need to do is get you back to your room.
And you can see people, some people walking around like they would, and they're starting to notice some of the workers just heading to and fro. They're not going to approach, but you notice people. Some people are noticing. Okay. She seems a little shaky on her feet, but what do you do?
I'll basically escort her back to the quarters she's staying in. Make sure she's okay, and basically get her to try and get some rest.
Yeah.
And
When
then
she
I'm
sees
gonna go
herself, she cleans herself up, and she almost starts crying again when she goes, "Oh God, what happened? Oh God."
It'll be okay, Sarah. I need you to stay here for the moment. I'm going to go and find the captain.
Okay.
She needs to know what's happening.
Okay, you're going to be back there, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. She tries to pour herself like a drink of water from the tap.
I
It's not
get
that
it
great.
for her.
Yeah.
If anyone comes to your door and it isn't me, Blaze, Wendy, or just us, don't let them in.
Okay. Look at Jim's face.
And then I'll go and try and find the captain.
And you head out, and we cut to back with the captain and Zam. The captain's further on. Fletcher, he's obviously backed up the disc. He's wiped the old one, and like he's moved on from the whole thing. He kind of wants you out of his maintenance workshop as soon as possible, but he's given you a small memory drive just with that audio file on. So, and the captain's sort of still a little bit shook up as you head out.
I don't like the sound of that, Captain.
What in the Sam hell was that, Zam? My ears are still ringing.
That's the kind of crap that we discovered on the Icarus.
What, loud noises? Jesus.
Half human, half robot messes trying to kill us. It was a good time.
Zam, nothing you have said to me today has made any sense at all, darling. So we need to find the others as soon as possible. We need to... There was some pretty bad shit on that message. We need to talk about this. We need to find the others. How are you so calm about this, Zam?
Because we've been through this a lot.
We just heard a man.
Shoot himself?
Yeah.
It's up there with all the other messed up stuff I've seen so far.
God. Okay, well, let's just... head back and see if we can find any of the others. See if they're in the rooms, I guess. I mean, there's a good chance we'll find Wendy or Blaze down by that gym, but Doc, we'll just have to see.
He'll be in a bar.
Fair assumption.
And they head back. You do hear as you're leaving, like there are, as you leave the sort of maintenance department, there are you do notice Zam, and the captain's not really talkative at this point. You can hear some people complaining to the maintenance department that some things are going missing. Some of their stocks and their food and just their toiletries and stuff, and there are sort of complaints coming in. You get a sense that after the first few days of like, oh, this is a nice place to stay, all of the truth is sort of coming out. You know what I mean? This place isn't as shiny and new as they like to think it is. But eventually,
I'm feeling about this place.
It's a mining colony, Zam. It's just a.
Are you hearing these people?
Yeah, whenever I've stopped to eat some of that stuff they call food, there's a lot of people complaining around here. There's loads of shit going on, Sam. I don't know what with the communications and some of the shit on the walls I see.
This is how it starts, Captain. It's gonna be wall to wall hell. I'm telling you.
What are you talking? What? You think they're all gonna go crazy? This is just
Halfway there already.
Oh yeah. Well, I just need to talk to someone that maybe can make sense of all this. We gotta find the Doc as soon as possible. Doc, where do they find you? They're heading back to sort of the habitat area. Are you there, or do they find you a bit later? Just
no, I think he's
Jim Beam.
No, yeah, because he's been trying to find the captain. Has no idea where she is, so he'd be in the main.
So you kind of bump into each other at some point.
Probably, yeah.
And you see, as they approach, there's no, hey Doc, fancy seeing you here. The captain looks spooked by something. How does Zam look?
Tired. Fed up.
He looks like Zam.
Concerned. Yeah.
Yeah. Doc, how do you look?
Worried.
Hey Doc, have you seen the others? We need to all get together and have. Well, we got something that we need to talk about.
Yes, we do. He looks around and then just. The Icarus is coming.
What?
That noise, I have no idea what it was or where it started, but it had an effect on Sarah. She was.
What do you mean effect? And you see Captain's like looking at Zam.
Zam's gonna nudge the captain and just go, see, told you.
She fell to the floor. It was causing her physical pain. She started to bleed and was screaming about it. It's coming.
Oh my God, is she okay?
I think it would. She's fine, shaken up. She's been through a lot, but I think that was some kind of beacon. We can't fight that thing. We need to get everyone off this planet.
What the hell is going on? We just. Well, Zam, you tell him. I don't know quite where to start with what we found.
Yeah, you remember that cartridge that Dick found?
On the relay station.
The relay station, yeah.
You see the cat when you say Dick's name, Captain's like, oh shit.
Yeah, we maybe managed to find someone who could play what was on there, and you might have heard the tail end of it, so to speak. Basically, some guy shooting himself because he can't take the pressure.
I don't think they heard that, Zam. What do you mean he can't take the... It sounds like that awful noise that we heard. It must have played it on the... How is that even possible?
Basically, all those nice people we met on the Icarus? It was that.
Well, I certainly look forward to meeting them again.
Yeah, I've been explaining to the captain here what a fun time we had.
Yes, on this occasion, Jane, I'm afraid Sam is 100% correct.
Yeah, I know. I hate it when he is, but...
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, I heard it for myself. And look, there's some things that... I mean, it happens so rarely, Zam, to be fair. Don't get too ahead of yourself.
I'm going to need to get Bernice back.
Yes, that your welder will really help you fight a whole fucking spaceship.
It's better than what we got now.
Look, we need to find the others. We need to sit down somewhere real quiet and talk about this. We can't just talk about it. And you can see she's a... We need to figure out a plan. Where do you think they'll be?
Blaze likes to go to the gym.
Well, I guess we'll try there. And Captain Austin turns and begins to walk off. And that's where we're going to take our break. The crew have a lot. They have a few things to talk about. So we'll get back into it after this. I was about to say the short word from our sponsors, but that's not it. Yeah, but yeah. So we're gonna have a break. So see you in 5. And welcome back. So, fast forward a little bit. The crew met up and have reconvened in somewhere probably a little bit more. Trying to get a bit of privacy. Where do you think everyone would go? And this is just the main crew right now. It's just the 5 crew.
Captain's quarters?
Yeah.
It's a little bit cramped in there. In her habitat.
That's almost funnier.
You've almost got like...
Yeah.
Damn, quit nudging me.
Yeah.
Get your elbow out of my sight.
Well, I mean, you could meet up in the habitat area if you want. You could head back there. It will be a bit of a tight squeeze, but it probably won't be 5 people in a train toilet.
I'm greased up. I could just.
Don't.
Keep
and
popping blades into the air.
certainly, that did not go unnoticed. That Wendy's gums are a little bit red, and Blaze's
Adam's apple is the stuffed potato.
swollen.
Because trained medical professional.
Yeah.
What the fuck happened? I don't care.
So basically,
He started it.
You can. The captain takes you back to like her living quarters. It's very simple, much like the rest of your rooms. They're all very simple. There's only just enough. There's a couple of seats. A couple of you might have to sit on the bed. And she pulls up a chair and stacks up a couple of her storage crates. And sits on them. And essentially, we get up to speed. There is talk about what happened, and this is for the first time, Wendy and Blaze, you have heard of what happened with that data tape, and then the ongoing noise, which you remember hearing. But all of that is we're all caught up, so we don't have to go through all that again. And there is naturally a sense of worry, the atmosphere of tension in the room. As Captain Austin's like, so we're pretty much in the shit again, and the way I see it, if like the Dark says, that this ship is on its way, then I'm just trying to find the silver lining in a shit cloud, people, but we got time. As you know, it took us, this thing's about a month or so away at best. I managed to outrun it with Susie. You see how big that thing is. Last I saw, it was heading in another direction, so it's got to turn around and come this way.
Permission to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not...
We did leave some surprises for it as well.
Exactly. So if it follows our trail here, then well, it's certainly going to have a few things to chew on.
Didn't it have a hyperdrive? Meaning it could get there quicker.
Well, I don't think it's going to use that. The hyperdrive is usually only fully activated when you're heading through a hyperdrive gate. So it's for long distances. If it uses that thing, it's going to overshoot us by weeks and months and years, maybe.
Captain, we don't know what we're dealing with. That ship somehow it's almost alive in some way. We don't know its capabilities. We don't know how much time we have.
Doc, I'm just trying to deal with what I know. And I'm just dealing with distances here. I'm looking for whatever I can.
I think...
Because right now, I can tell you, our ship does not have a hyperdrive. There ain't enough to get... We won't be able to get off this planet if we don't start moving quickly and start thinking.
There must be other ships on this planet.
I mean, there's those vessels that shuttle people to and from that we saw that were parked in that bay. They're smaller than Susie, but
So when we landed, Wendy definitely kind of tasted the joint, that like looked at the whole kind of spaceport bit.
Yeah, when
Would
the
she
when the
have
ship
seen
was
anything
landing,
useful?
when the ship landed, when the O'Brien landed, and certainly when you were picked up and like
On the bus.
and Bex said a bit about it as well, that there were some ships further, just kind of near, but they had hyperdrives. They're smaller ships. They're not meant for I mean, the O'Brien is essentially a tanker in space. Do you know what I mean? It is like, it's just heavy duty haulage. These ones are more for shepherding people around. They're smaller ships, and you could probably, she wasn't clear on how many people you could get to a vessel, but they're certainly built for when people are going home and going to and from, shuttling backwards and forwards to your home sector. So there was like a bay that had a bunch of these ships, and the captain would tell you that these ships would be quicker because they're not carrying all. They're not. I mean, the Susan O'Brien is a massive vessel, but she does one important thing that she does say is, you have a bunch of people in cryopods on the Susan O'Brien. You have 3 people currently there, and one of the issues that you had initially, since taking on your 3 new, the people you saved from the Icarus, the O'Brien does not have enough cryopods for all of the humans, including those people, in order for people to go to sleep and go through hyperdrive, the hypergate. And everyone knows that if a human goes through the hypergate, if everyone else went to sleep, went in the cryopods, and someone stayed awake to try and pilot the ship through this 2-week journey through the hyperjump, it's not good. It messes with your mind. Catastrophic things have happened. Some people just completely lose their marbles completely, because the human brain isn't meant for that. That is why normally ships have androids and synthetics, because they don't have to sleep, so they can stay awake, and normally they're awake. And even androids see and hear weird things sometimes. They experience strange glitches, but especially the amalgamated interest ones, they've been built up with a tolerance to be able to do that. But for instance, Dick Sloan, he was always there when you took the initial voyage. They set everything up, went to sleep, and Dick made sure that everyone got to where they needed to be. And that's an issue that the captain brings up, that she doesn't. You've got other crew, the other people of Beta Shift, as well as a person that wasn't part of the original crew. The little stowaway that the ship had is still safely on the ship. They're all still safely there, and they're just sleeping on the Susan O'Brien. But she does bring up, we've got that as well.
Not thinking of us, Captain. I'm thinking of the people who are working and living here. They need a way to escape. We can't be that for them, I know that. We need them to get their communications fixed, to call for help, and I think Sarah may have, I don't understand it, but she may know where the Icarus is. It clearly had some kind of contact with her when that noise happened, and
You don't think she's infected, do you, Doc?
I don't think biologically, no.
But the other 2.
Yeah, we need to find them as well. Do you think this happened to them as well?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I hear what you're saying, Doc. These people are in danger here. We can't leave an entire planet, this whole colony, to just... Well, I don't know what the hell is going to happen if that thing gets here.
Everyone will die.
Okay, so let's deal with the basics. That will be what happens if that ship gets here.
Everyone will die because of something we led to them.
Then we've got to think smart, because right now, even knowing what we know, I don't know if you people have noticed, but we get some funny looks from the locals around here.
Yes, I think that's Sam's shirt.
Yeah, they're not... Yeah, we'll talk about that sometime.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with this shit.
Matter of opinion. But look, they don't trust us anyway. So how, even with this message, I mean, I don't want to hear that thing ever again. But even with that, how are we going to convince anyone of any of this? They're going to lock us up in the security, but we're going to be shipped home in a...
That guy Fletch, you reckon he could maybe find a way to reverse that sound? Maybe use it against the Icarus?
Well, I mean, he was a weird little guy. I mean, maybe he could, but even if the girl knows where this thing is, how do we know where to point the signal? How do we know to get the signal out there? We can't get anything off this planet.
Apart from little shuttle ships.
Shuttle ships. It's only if you get... It's short range at best. And the communications. Blaze, Wendy, what? Please,
Well,
help us out.
I'm taking some issue with this idea that we led them here. Everything that we have been... Every place that we have been told to go. So if this place gets vaporized by fucking cruise ships, it's not on my head. It's on the to-do list of some guy in a suit.
It's the company men.
I mean, that doesn't help with the immediate, we're all going to die.
We're all going to die and everything. Yeah, everything's going to go.
So...
You never think it will weigh heavy, but trust me.
So you're saying it was when you played that tape? It sent out a beacon and brought him here?
Well, it sent out that sound that went all the way across the station. I don't know. And Sarah said it heard. I don't...
So if you were to play it again, but somewhere else, would it hear it again?
Yeah, we could broadcast it from one of those shuttle ships and just send it on automatic.
A little rabbit being chased by a massive alien-infested spaceship.
And you see, like, the captain sort of think about this. Holy shit. That might work.
We got a backup of it.
We'd need to make sure it can't be played again here as well.
I never want to hear that fucking thing as long as I live, Doc.
But you said the original was left with this little Fletch man.
I think he deleted it. You saw him delete it, didn't you, Zam? He was
Yeah, he pretty much broke everything up.
Yeah, he's one of those retro tech nerds. You know, that figures out all those little video gaming gadget things, and yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, we traded something pretty. Well, Zam, show him what we got.
We'll show you the portable computer terminal.
Yeah, looks like a piece of shit, but I think it might do okay. When we figure out how to use it, when to use it, and if it will work. Okay. So, let me get this right. You're suggesting Doc, did you want to get rid of the original, or do you want us to make a backup of the backup? Because
No.
this message, I want to say to you, Doc, this message, this ain't just some shitty noise that's making life difficult. It's proof.
It's got some dirt on someone we don't like.
It's everyone in your case, Zam.
You said we, not just me.
If we can look, perhaps if we can separate the final noise from the rest of the message,
Yeah.
we can have two. Oh God, it means we gotta talk to that funny little fella again.
See if he knows how to get his hand on some explosives.
Booby trap the shuttle.
Exactly.
Why the hell do you want it? God damn it, Blaze! You walked on here with a goddamn gun, and now you want to.
He's right, Captain. If we have a chance to
got a
destroy
good
the
point.
Icarus,
Okay.
Rabbit runs, dog chases rabbit, rabbit explodes in dog's mouth.
it's a classic story.
Okay.
Tale as old as time.
I mean, I worry about the books that you were read when you were a child, Blaze, but we'll talk about it another time.
I can't read.
So say we can manage to do this. Say we can separate that signal. Then what? I mean, I am a babe in the woods here. I'm a pilot of a ship. I can fly through a gnat's asshole, but when it comes to all of this shit and setting up distractions for potentially some fucking weird leviathan in the sky, I'm afraid I'm gonna need some help here, people. So what do we do once we got that?
We just need to get the Icarus away from here. That's priority one. If we can destroy it as well, so much the better. But that has to be our goal right now, surely.
Okay.
We also want to fix our ship so we can get the hell out of here.
Well, and this is a crazy if. Sometimes I think I'm still in a cryopod and this is all, I'm going to wake up from this. But if we can send this thing off and it follows it, that might buy us the time we need to fix our ship.
Maybe get a few extra cryopods in as well.
Zam, do you think you that's not a bad idea. Do you think, I mean, it'll be a tight squeeze, but do you think you can, I don't know, fix up a few extra cryopods into the Susie if we can get it working?
Yeah, I reckon we could, yeah.
Okay, so we'll have to think about how many we need and how on earth we are going to get cryopods from one of their ships into our ship, and also steal one of their ships, send it off into space. And
I feel like we should maybe try asking nicely. There are people on this colony who we've befriended.
Bex would be good to speak to.
which one's Bex again?
Is she the one you
one that
offended
I made?
when we first arrived?
Yeah, but you know,
The nice girl that you
move
treated
things
like a
on the
piece of shit.
system. Yeah, all right. Let's not lay it on too thick, you know.
I just call it like I see it, Zam.
I've also
He was the
built
one who told me about Fletch.
Oh.
I've also built a rapport with the colony doctor, and surely his word must carry some weight around here.
Well, we can but try. Wendy, Blaze, anything else we can try?
I mean, the head of security seemed to kind of take to me a little, maybe, but we might just have lost some friends at the more manual labour end of the scale.
Oh,
But it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
I see. Okay. My only thought is, this sounds like quite a crazy idea and a crazy plan. And if you were any potential security, would you allow this? I take that striking endorsement as a no.
If I hadn't, if I'd never seen the thing, we have Sarah, and we have Roy, and we have Quilliam.
Best name ever.
And us, the crew, we saw it.
We can play him the first half of that tape.
Yeah.
All we're asking, we're not sending them to war. We're just asking them for a ship and a tape and a big ton of explosives. But it's a mining place. They have tons of it.
I think we might want to... The explosives, I don't think they're necessarily going to hand out those willy-nilly. And
we'll figure that out.
I think we need to pick and choose which favours we're going to ask, and then we're going to have to try and do whatever we can, however we can. Okay.
We have to try.
Okay. And here was me thinking this was going to be 3 weeks of sitting down and just drinking margaritas. So then, players. What is the plan? It seems like there's a potential plan.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
And it started with Blaze.
Wendy knocked some sense into him, that's what.
Through his windpipe. So, it sounds like there's a potential plan to get one of those shuttle ships, get a signal on it, play it, and send it off. Like Tremors.
Those shuttle ships would, if they can go into hyperspace, they would have cryopods on there then, yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
So we could strip it.
Yeah. But I will say to my players, for free, that I doubt that this company will just let you essentially harvest bits willy-nilly. You may have to be a little bit sneaky with it.
Yeah, we've got a billionaire. Roy is a billionaire.
Billionaire.
He can buy the company. Billionaire.
So
Well, we need to fix Dick as well.
Hey?
yes, and the captain mentions that. She does talk about, because when his name was brought up, she brings up that she left what there was left of Dick Sloan with the android maintenance department of this place. She paid him some good coin. He's going to be cleaned up, so that he's all prepped for a new pair of legs, possibly. She has another drive of her own, which is he's backed up on, but she'd like to keep the OG intact as much as possible, so he's not weirded out if he wakes up in another person's body, which is what can happen with androids. You can back them up and put them into different, and in the Mothership world, skins, as they called them. They have like basic just empty bodies, and you just upload a personality to it. So yes, Gav, Dick Sloan could look completely different in the future.
Do a different voice.
Yeah.
Finally, I get to break out the fine voice.
Oh, God.
Yeah. But as we remember, viewers and listeners, Dick Sloan suffered a traumatic injury, but he did not die. That is very important. He didn't die. And I've kept that, so it's not like he's completely out of it. He is backed up. The personality of Dick Sloan is backed up. But the captain, the body is being fixed by the android maintenance department, and she wants to check up on that. over the next couple of days. See how that's going on as well. So there's lots of things. It sounds like this plan isn't a sort of do it all in one day job. There's lots of things that you're going to have to do. So players, figure out an order of...
Well, it feels like there's a diplomacy route, and then there's a sneaky stealth route as well. So like the diplomacy for asking permission to do stuff, I feel like that would be a captain and doc's remit. And then I don't know if we're still getting explosives, but also the edited version of the tape.
Try.
Well, we've got an avenue, I think. As long as I pay that $5,000, I think they'll still talk.
Well, I was thinking we could just go back in and go, look, sorry about that, guys. Now let's do it properly. We were kidding. Now we'll have a proper fight. And then they'll love us again, and then they'll help us.
Yeah, okay. And then Zam, if possibly get another copy of the tape, I think, or something to play it on again.
We should be able to broadcast it through the shuttle. Will probably have,
because you've got it copied to a modern device.
Yeah.
Chip.
You put it
on
it,
CD, isn't it?
Yeah, back up. Yeah. It's on a floppy disk.
It's on a mini disc.
Yeah,
It's on four floppy disks.
Yeah, 4 floppy disks.
Someone has to go on the shuttle to change the disc.
I'll sacrifice my life.
I've got the tapes. I've got it.
Okay. So, just so the warden knows, the plan currently. What is the first plan of action? How are we going to do this?
I think the doc would suggest that first of all they check on Quill and Roy.
You do. I would say you catch up with them. Roy was having dinner at the time, and Quill was in the gym. Same thing happened to them. They, it freaked them out. It really freaked them out, and they headed back to their. Like the people when Quill was at the gym, they thought he was having some sort of seizure or like hemorrhage or whatever, until he sort of cleaned himself up and he was fine again. But yes. The same thing happened to those two. And they got the same sense that whatever was out there heard something.
The doc would then want to... the doc would then want to get all three of them together and talk to them all together to see if they have any sense at all of how much time we have.
I'll roll some dice.
He hates doing this.
Yeah.
Because, reliving trauma. But
Sarah doesn't know. They don't have specifics. They don't know. They don't know coordinates or things like that. And they know, but they know it's not moving faster than it was before. But it's turned and it's coming back. It was moving away. From what the sense that they got, and it's not really clear. It was moving in a different direction, and it's one thing that they sort of pick up on different things. Like Roy mentions, like that. Quill mentions that it was kind of moving in a different direction, and it was heading out, and they didn't quite know. It was just a lot of space. There's a lot of not much of anything. Roy also picked up on it's a bit bigger now. He doesn't know how, but it's like it's changing, is what he said. It's changing and it's bigger. Of which they're sort of like, maybe that'll slow it down. Maybe who knows? But they don't get the sense on like the spidey sense isn't tingling. It's going to be here in 2 hours.
okay.
But they they get the sense that maybe they'll know. Not quite sure. Sarah doesn't want to know in some ways.
No.
But you notice that Quill's the one that's a bit more. He's been a bit more stoic through the whole thing anyway. Maybe he's putting on a bit of a brave face in some ways. Roy's drinking a bit. Good Scotch. But that's the sense you get from them. So in some ways, they can act kind of like a beacon, if you know, a warning, a spidey sense in a strange sort of way, a traumatic spidey sense for these people. But they say if they get any sense of anything, they're going to let you guys know. They're not gonna go too far from wherever you want them to be. There will be, because they don't feel safe. They don't feel safe in this place. They only feel safe with you guys.
So which one of them are we going to send out on the shuttle?
Sarah, obviously,
Well, in a not in front of them conversation, Wendy would want to sort of say say, do we think that it's the message that is drawing this thing in, or do you think it's them?
It's the message.
It's not coming. They're connected to it somehow. Is it not coming for them? Maybe.
The signal is what's caused it to turn and come this way. These people are survivors. They're not the beacon.
Doc's right in that one.
You definitely did a full medical checkup on him.
Yes, please.
All right, I trust you, Doc. They stay with us.
Okay, so where would you like these survivors, these NPCs that you're going to try and keep alive for who knows how long, the rest of this campaign? What?
They're confined to quarters.
I think
Roy could be useful. I love Roy. Yeah. I just want Roy to be really active because I think he's adorable.
Yeah.
Could he be good with negotiating with people, or would he be terrible with negotiating with
Possibly. You obviously
I'm negotiating the deal for him, but I'm looking at PJ.
Yeah.
Looking at the doc as kind of chief negotiator and diplomat.
50-50.
Yeah.
He negotiated a deal to sell his company. Never forget that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should take Roy with us, but he should not lead any of our negotiations. I feel like selling a company and saying, "Can we have a shuttle and all of your explosives to blow up a monster?" And two different negotiations.
A point of order. Do you tell them about the message on the tape? They know about the noise. They know about that noise. They only heard the noise. They didn't hear the message. No one else apart from Zam and the captain and Fletcher heard the message. Do you tell them about the message from the Icarus?
The doc would say that they are putting a lot on the line for us, so it's only fair we give them everything.
What does the rest of the party say?
I mean, you don't play poker and hold your card thingy. Don't play poker. It wasn't going to work. It's like, no. Actually, that's not poker, is it? That's a different game. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's our trump card. It's like the kind of thing we're going to play at the point at which it is needed.
Okay.
So if they said yes immediately, then it'd be like, well, we won't bother. Just on the signal, on the screechy noise, it's fine. But
yeah, they know nothing about that message, and they're willing to try and help wherever they can. And once they got the sense that something's coming, they want to leave as well. Yeah, this is the 3 survivors. You get the sense of like.
Yeah, I think we should tell them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So then there's more people to corroborate the The crimes of that dickhead.
Yeah. Well, if that's the case, then the other two don't really know. Roy knew Darwin Buchanan. He's one of the people he's had corporate dealings with before. Like the man, didn't know him too well, but in business circles. But Darwin Buchanan was quite high up in echelon. It was a big deal. It was an echelon vessel, this one, and it was a big deal. Obviously, he was the standard bearer. There wasn't any other real corporate suits there, but he was there for its first voyage. It's that classic Titanic, it's like, I'm going to be here, I'm going to wear the badge, and he seemed to be in fairly decent spirits before the hyper jump Roy mentions, because Roy obviously went into cryosleep, because all of these survivors, for anyone who didn't watch previous messages, they were in cryosleep for some medical reason or other. So when the ship went through hyper jump and everything went wrong, it didn't affect them like anyone who was awake for it. Because this experimental hyper jump that was on the Icarus, one of the big selling points is it's totally safe and you don't need to sleep. You can be awake and enjoy your journey and go further than anyone ever did before.
Kind of true.
Yeah, it went pretty far.
Yeah.
It's gone too far, if anything.
Yeah. So, if you play them the message, obviously they're very shocked by. It's a traumatic message. And
I think the doc would argue for not playing it, just telling them the content of it.
What's on there.
You tell them, yeah. And you can leave out details if you want to leave out details, but certainly you can give them the gist of. This is the first these people have really heard of Regis as well. They've heard a little bit, probably when you were bad mouthing him here and there. Quill, Roy doesn't know Regis. Quill's really annoyed. Just the fact that a suit has done this. Some cowardly suit, they're angry and scared by it all. But yes, so they know and they're willing to help. So all of that is updated. You don't need to worry about hiding from them. They know what's on the tape. They haven't heard the tape, so I'll make a note of that. They're willing to help. Okay, so what is the order of business?
Or is the O'Brien?
The O'Brien was, you obviously got on the shuttle bus, which is probably about a 45-minute drive, an hour drive. I think I said it. It was about that. That you took. But that was on a big shuttle bus. You did notice that there were also like smaller all-terrain Jeep-like vehicles. That could probably move a bit quicker.
I was just thinking about getting back and seeing if there's any kind of like salvage on board that would be worth trading with Fletch.
You could do that.
Because we should have some like old tech and stuff that we've collected.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to
So I
bring
think Dan
Fletch
would go
aboard
back
so he can
and.
have a look?
Oh yeah, that's a good idea actually.
Saves you having to go. What about this? No. What about
What
this? No.
about this? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So is that your plan? That's the first point of call. We don't have to. We don't have to RP every scene. We will sort of like, because this is a plan that's the wheels are in motion now. So I'll get you to make some rolls.
Yeah, he's not going to want to help us, but we could coerce him with some trade.
Okay. And certainly, how would you like to go about it? Are you basically going to say, we've got some more stuff, we'd like to do some more business with you? Is that?
Yeah, take him back to the O'Brien, and he can have a route through some of our
route to route, just scrambling through.
And maybe see if like we can tempt him to give us contacts and stuff as well. Then
I mean, this could be costly. So when you approach him, Zam, are you going on your own, or are you going to take anyone else with you?
I think I'll take the captain as well.
Okay.
Since we've already met him,
yeah.
he's going to be more receptive to that.
And certainly you meet up with Fletcher, and he's almost a little bit scared of the captain because she was a little bit forceful with him last time. But it takes you probably a moment to talk him round. But the offer of trade, and the captain very, very begrudgingly is willing to take him onto the ship to see to have a little shopping spree, see if there's anything he wants. He will agree to it. He will agree to coming out to the O'Brien. However, his word only goes so far. He's a maintenance engineer. You're going to have to smooth talk some people to get out of, because you've got to go back to admin, and you basically got to figure out some way of going back to the O'Brien.
Well, Zam's best friend Bex then.
So you keep an eye out for her over the next day. And yeah, we've got to see this play out, haven't we? No, we don't have to, Jim.
We're not going to up everything, but
no, but that's too juicy. No, certainly Bex is surprised to see you. She thought she saw you wandering around a couple of days, but asked if there's any, how you getting on. Is there anything you need? They're going out for a few drinks at the last call. If you want to join at some point,
He'll meet up with them.
How
again.
is Zam going to act at this point? Stone cold sober Zam. How is he going to treat this encounter?
He will know to be nice. So he's not gonna like be his usual gruff self. He's gonna. I'm not gonna say lay on the charm because he doesn't have any charm, but he is gonna be nice.
Zam, could you give me an intellect check, because you've got to say the right things in the right kind of way, and you're stone cold sober, so.
Intellect, you said, yeah?
Yeah.
Intellect is 45.
Yeah.
I got 31.
You know the right things to say. You just get you're a little nervous to begin with, but Zam, he puts on the ZAM BRAZEL charm.
Hey.
The old Brazzle Dazzle.
Yeah. There's the t-shirt.
T-shirt, yeah.
And Bex is certainly she's willing to help out. She obviously knows Fletch as well, so she can help with that. And because she succeeded, and she was the one that led you over here anyway, she can organise one of the sort of ATVs to go out there, because doing a whole shuttle thing is a whole collecting car everything. But if you're just going out there just to see your ship, and the captain sort of lays on, we just need to check up on some things as well. Bex is willing to cooperate. Well done, Zam. I honestly thought he was going to fail that. And so while Zam is off doing his part of this, what is everyone else doing before I go on to the next bit of Zam's?
So I'm thinking that the explosives plan is kind of dependent on the diplomacy plan. Because if diplomacy plan goes well, then we don't need to do some sort of elaborate heist. We can just ask nicely and they'll give us some shit. If not, then heist plan needs to happen.
Yeah, so I think that the doc would go and visit Dr. West with Roy.
What for? This is a wonderfully aged Scotch. Wonderful.
Well, let me do the bulk of the talking, please, Roy. Just
certainly, Doctor. You're the man.
and I can't believe I'm saying this, but maybe not quite so much to drink on.
No. Fair enough. Maybe as a celebration afterwards.
I'll buy you a bottle.
Oh, promises. So, what is your goal for visiting the doctor?
Sort of get an idea of his station, I guess, on the colony, if he does have pull with some of the higher ups, and see if he can maybe get us in front of them, but also trying to get him on side as well. So try and tell him a little bit without telling him everything.
Okay. Make an intellect check.
I don't want it.
Is there anything you can add to it?
I've only got zoology, chemistry, field medicine, and surgery. So
I'll allow you field medicine because it's one doctor to another.
Doctor to doctor.
Yeah.
Oh God! Oh no! Is that? Hang on. So, with field medicine, I am at 58, and I rolled 66. Diplomacy has critically failed, friends.
Heist.
Okay.
You've been sectioned.
Okay. Right. Well, as it was a critical failure.
I'll gain my stress.
Yeah. And a panic check, please.
Oh, fuck. This would be the worst time to panic.
The pressure of everything, everything is so important now.
Okay, we're good. 16. I'm on 10 stress.
Okay. It was stressful, though, and you do botch it a little bit. You're a bit too eager. And the doctor thinks it's a little strange that you're being, so, what do you know? What's your sway in this station? He essentially sort of says he's bones. He's just there to patch people up. People come to him to complain about things and the ailments, and obviously the day-to-day workers. Some of the others that work in the sort of admin department, that sort of section, that's where the sort of medical, the sort of surgery and all of that happens. And maybe a bit too intense, and it damages your standing with him a little bit. And you know that, but you do get Roy gets checked over, and one thing that when Doc does a scan, he notices when he scans his brain, there's a small shadow somewhere in the brain, a little bit.
I ask if there's a reason my instruments wouldn't have picked that up earlier.
You look at the instruments. It's essentially the same equipment. Your equipment should have picked that up.
So it's either only recently appeared.
And Roy's like, "What's going on?" He doesn't feel any different whatsoever.
Or somehow it was hiding.
But you got a bit of information. But that's as far as you get with the Doctor with a critical failure, I'm afraid.
I'm not pushing it. Not pushing it. I'll just thank him and
Yeah.
we'll leave.
So we going to drink then?
Not yet.
Oh. It's a shame. While the Doc's doing this, Blaze and Wendy. Are you just waiting for Zam to come back with see if he can come back with the goods, or
We're going to go deeper underground.
are you looking for Stockton?
No. Looking for Banjo.
Banjo. And you would find him at the gym as people are training.
I'm here to settle the debt.
Oh, you got my 5k, have you?
Yeah, I got your 5k right here.
I was going to give him the finger then, but no. I give him, yeah, pay the 5k. But then also...
So you give the 5k over
Yes.
as he goes to it. Bloody hell, yeah.
And then ask about acquiring volatile material. Or potential... If it's a mining place, surely you must have like explosives to blast out chambers and stuff.
Make an intellect check with advantage.
Oh, okay. Ooh. 19. Don't need it. No, sorry, 16. Fucking hell.
You got the advantage.
Laser got smart.
You got the advantage because he has another name on this station. They call him Black Market Banjo.
I thought it was just because he bribed him.
No, he's the guy that if you need stuff that isn't necessarily on the above board, he smuggles stuff in, like Red from Shawshank Redemption. Only looking like
Banjo
a
was here.
scraggly roadie. So, and he's like, well, you've come to the right. If you need anything around here, but are you saying? Did you say explosives? What are you planning to do? Banjo don't want anything coming back on Banjo.
Nothing's coming back on you, Banjo. You can trust me. I'm good for it.
Well, I would say no, but you did pay up, so
For the sake of expediency.
yeah.
Wendy, do we tell him the truth or not?
I'll tell you this for nothing: it ain't going to be cheap
Figured it wouldn't be cheap.
because of what you've asked for. It's not like you've asked for like this ingredient, this ingredient. If you're asking for straight up explosives, he wants a lot of money for it. But it's up to you. Do you tell him?
We tell him.
You tell him.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out that. Okay.
I also asked
Because,
like,
you know, otherwise why are we getting this stuff?
well, yeah, but how much extra to not ask questions?
Oh.
I'm going to have a look at the manual and see what this kind of
Yes,
crazy.
yes. What is the price of bribery
Well,
on Cassius Prime?
I'm thinking about the price of what you're asking for. You're asking for explosives on a mining colony that this guy currently resides on. Now, the question is, does he have, you know, he's not just going to go, oh yeah, just plant a bomb in my backyard. Which might drive the price up a little bit. So let's have a look at the equipment. Because explosives and this sort of equipment, there are things you can get on Mothership, obviously, with Marines and such. So you may... Oh, right, okay. Oh!
Is there an evil ship explosion package?
There is. Right, okay. There is explosives and detonator,
Ooh, lovely.
which is an explosive charge powerful enough to blow open an airlock. Think about that. All nearby organisms must make a body save, blah, blah, blah. Detonator works at faraway range, but can be blocked by a radio jammer. Now, how much explosive do you want?
How much have you got?
Well, depends. What are you looking to fizz pop bang?
Cruise liner. I know.
Ship. Big ship.
A very big ship.
Very big ship in the sky.
If I had that kind of stuff, if I had that, I wouldn't be working here.
Okay. Little ship. In a big ship. In the sky.
Do you tell him the plan? You have told him a, quite frankly, insane story. He's listening because there's money. That's the only reason he's in this at the moment. And he wants to know how much money he can make. Because he made 5k off Blaze just by saying, you're going to win.
Mm-mm.
So there's a sense of these people are good for it. So that's why he's still on the hook.
I don't know, like
It's going to be 1,000 for each. If you just think about that explosive, which may be different from the manual, but that's because this guy's a shyster. The explosives and detonator, the detonator would be 500 on its own if you wanted a detonator. The explosives themselves would be 1,000. Now, that's 1,000 for something that is enough to blow open an airlock and, just destroy a room of a ship, probably. Create a very bad day for a spaceship. How many of those do you want?
well, I can afford 14 of them.
He can get you 10.
Yeah.
10.
I mean, strategically placed near engines and other things that go boom.
Do you tell him...
in the little ship.
Right,
Sorry, this is sidebar.
Yeah. I am... I'm just getting some clarification from the players here.
Mm-hmm.
Gav, obviously you said you can afford 14. Do you tell him that?
No.
Okay. Because he's going to say it'll be an extra $2,000 to keep him quiet.
I look at Wendy.
I mean, I could keep you quiet for a lot less than that.
Oh no, I meant, have you got any money?
I'm just saying. We can do this, but quiet.
Oh, are you threatening me? Because if you threaten me now, then you're not gonna get what you want.
I'm just clarifying the terms of our agreement.
And I'm clarifying.
Quiet means quiet.
Oh, it'd be like someone's cut out my tongue, my dear. But I need to know. And seeing as you're throwing threats around, it'll be 4. Another 4 for me to keep quiet.
Damn it, Wendy.
So that's 14 in total. 14 and a half if you want that detonator.
No, you can keep the detonator.
No, I'll have the detonator. I've got some money.
Just imagine she's nudging
We
me.
can split it. We can split it.
Okay, we'll take the detonator.
Right then. Well, it'll take me a couple of days to rustle this stuff up. Well, I tell you what. Why don't do you want me to have it delivered? I don't really want to deliver it to where you're staying.
We'll come pick it up. We'll meet you down at the hatch.
Yeah. Yeah. Meet us at the entranceway that I took you to the fight. I want half the cash now.
I give him half the cash.
Yeah. I didn't think I'd enjoy this so much. Maybe I should sell used cars.
Hi, I'm Banjo.
Would you like a Ford Cortina? There's no miles on the clock. Tweak, tweak, tweak. So, in a couple of days, you'll have some explosives.
I wish Blaze knew about Zam's black card of bottomless money.
Well, you did leave him alone. You have been mean to him.
I'm
It's
aware
what
of
he
the
would
card.
have
Tabletop role-playing choice and consequence.
He would have wanted to be alone.
I'm not going to ask Jim how he feels about Okay. Right. So, that's another success for the team there. An expensive success, but a success nonetheless. So, you're getting that in 3 days. The dock came up empty, but Zam, it's... Bex leads the charge. You're all getting your hazard suits and getting an ATV. So it's just Zam, the captain, and Fletcher, who's sketchy through the whole thing. You get a sense that like when he goes back to the main admin hub of the colony, he hasn't been in this area that much. He's not used to it. Do you know what I mean? He's not someone that's really around people that much. But certainly you do.
I know the feeling.
And you drive out to the O'Brien. It's a quicker drive. Yeah. Bex steers like a pro. It's not, I mean, it's a fairly uncomfortable drive because it is a rocky mountain surface, but like rough surface. But eventually you get there, and the captain brings everything down, and you get aboard your ship again. Captain immediately goes to the cryopods to check up on how everything's doing, and Fletcher is going to have a look around. So what do you offer? So what is the offer to him, Zam?
So we want the recording, don't we? We want him to splice the recording
because he doesn't have a recording now. You're asking him to do a service, aren't you? You're literally asking him.
Yeah. So we want him to splice the recording so that we can have just the dialogue and then just the signal.
Okay.
Split that out.
What part of your ship are you going to let him have a search for stuff?
So bear with.
It's been a while since we've been on the O'Brien properly. I must say the party they're doing quite well with their diplomacy route, which I didn't think this group was going to do.
Some of the party.
So yeah, we'll just take him straight to cargo hold and salvage. And
Okay.
whatever salvage parts are there, you can have a look at.
Of course, you know with the O'Brien, the importance of their cargo is whatever they've got. You dumped half of it in space, if I remember correctly, wasn't it? Was it half that you dumped?
Yeah. Yeah.
So of whatever's left, we'll just say this: he's going to want a third of it.
For a third, can we get the radio jammer as well?
Hagler.
Give me another intellect check with advantage because Bex is there and she's actually on the ship as well, and just sort of like, oh, nice place you got here.
Right. So that was a 19. So we got a 19 anyway.
Yeah, then he'll throw in a radio jammer.
Yeah. So 19 is the score.
You can roll again if you want. Did you roll again? See if you get a critical.
Yeah, I rolled again and it wasn't as good as the 19.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Yeah. So you can get a radio jammer. To match things up nicely, we can sort of say in 2 or 3 days. So you're going to have the explosives and 2 audio recordings, 2 files. He'll go away, and also that gives him time to unload some of that cargo from the ship. Pardon me, Wendy pops. Yeah, take some of that from the ship.
Edit.
Which does mean you know the cargo. You've lost another good chunk of cash there.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem to be the priority for the party at the moment. Their priorities are elsewhere. How the characters have changed. Blue collar workers to survivor lists in just 13 episodes. That's what we give you people. Yes. So Bex does ask for one thing.
Yeah.
She invites you and the crew for a drink that night. Not just you, all the crew as well.
Oh, crew, yeah.
Yeah. Everyone.
Yeah.
So on that particular night, after a long day, you know, Bex is having to schmooze some people as well. Thankfully, she's a nice person, and she seems to be well liked. So, you know, she says the right things to the right people and gets the job done. But as such, she says, my only payment is you buy me and my buddies a round of drinks. And so on that particular night, if you can round up the rest of the crew, then everyone's at the last call, because they don't go to McCready's that group. So you have a night. I mean, everyone's mind is elsewhere with the things that are going to be happening over the next couple of days. And so, what is the next stage? You have the recordings. I take it you have not told Bex the plan. I took that as something that, oh yeah, we're planning to get some explosives. Don't worry about that. She may not have been as compliant, but so
we've got a recording.
We've got
our explosives coming, and now we need a ship.
We need
with a few cryopods taken out.
Now the
Once we
cryopods.
get the ship, we can take the cryopods out, can we?
See, how do you want to go about getting this ship? Is this something you mentioned when you head out there, Zam? And as you head out, you totally see that a bit further away, a bit further back from where the O'Brien is, there is a group of other ships.
Who is the big boss of this colony? Sorry, Gav.
You haven't met the big boss. You did meet the administrator. I've forgotten his name. Oh, Dragonov. Who's the cheerful guy that sort of signed you all in and said, "This is a lovely place." Just trying to put a nice spin on it. But
there's a boss above.
There are probably other bosses, but it's not like you've met any of them. And the chances of meeting them may be fairly low. But what is the party's plan?
Roy, though.
This is the first time. This is the first with the strategy of everything.
So with the shuttle, then, is there like a still working shuttle that we can get that's not like not
one
top
of the
line,
nice ones?
I mean, this is a mining colony. They don't have limos.
No, but
would you like to ask if there's one that is?
Kind of thing,
is there one that obviously needs to be fixed up, needs to be sorted out? Do you want to see if there's one like that?
How big are they?
They're big enough for like probably 25 people, 25 cryopods at a time. Would be on this.
Okay, that's quite big. I was going to say it's too big to go inside the O'Brien.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, it's not. It's a ship that is essentially meant for, you know, a few days habitat, but mainly it's let's get you to where you're going to be. Do you know what I mean? It's that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because how many extra pods do we need? We only need three extra ones or 4.
If I remember
as many as you can get, Zam.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, I believe the O'Brien has 10. I think the O'Brien has 10. I'm trying to remember now. It's been a while since
We should have enough room in the cargo holds to put all 20.
You won't be able to hook your. I mean, you'd have to have some pretty good jury rigging rolls to set up cryopods in the cargo hold. The captain's
not set them up there.
You just want to put them in for now.
We can like take the 20.
Yeah,
and then
there's plenty. Yeah,
hook up as many as we need. Then
yeah. You want to try and take 20.
Well, we're going to take the whole shuttle, aren't we? So we're going to have to strip it. We're going to have to do like an 18 montage where we just like strip it, fill it with explosives, and then send it on its way.
Okay.
I think we're all going to be helping out.
Okay, so how do you want to go? This is a really interesting quandary for me, thinking that the party just want to go ahead and do this. But in what world would a mining colony say, yeah, you can have that one and tear it to bits because it's not your property? Another thing that becomes abundantly clear is Roy has no ID. There is no... These three people that are with you, you know who they are. But as such, and their details have been put into the system, as such, there's no clear... Oh, you're that guy. He hasn't had any money. The three people you've had with you have not had any money. They've been living off you and like whatever they... You know. There's no... Oh, remember me? I'm the billionaire. I'm the trillionaire that sold my company. Like, you know. He's probably said that when he's been drunk, but... Who hasn't? Who hasn't?
I mean, isn't Quill like a Universal sports star or something?
He's a little bit more recognised a couple of times. Yeah, you do notice him. Okay. Yeah. A bit of recognition. He's got more recognition out of all of you, I would say.
Yeah, but they should be able to Google Roy though.
Oh yes, they're just going to Google Roy. Yeah. Well, it's up to you how you want to go about it, and how difficult I make it for you. In fact,
how long would it take, assuming one had access to a shuttle, how long would it take to do the custom job of taking stuff out and putting stuff in?
Zam, do you want to give me a I would say an intellect roll? You can add your jury rigging, and I believe you've got mechanical repair, so you can add both of those to your intellect roll. Is he frozen? Or was he just thinking?
No, so that's really 70 then, isn't it?
Yeah. Wow. He's zen. He's so zen.
Right, so that's a 00 and then a 5. So that's just 5.
It's got 5, yeah. You know immediately. Yeah. If you had a couple of people helping you, it'll take a day to get stuff out, to strip it, because it is literally just going to be take it out. Do you know what I mean? These are removal people, sort of like, you know, people that know what they're doing. Yeah. Get the stuff out. If you don't want to be too fancy about it, and you know, because you're dealing with the cryopods are what you're taking out, yes. Yeah, because it's that you're going to be careful with them, but it's not like you're handling a drive core and stuff like that. Yeah. So that'll take you another day and a half to strip it and possibly set up what you want to set up. To set it on because what do you want to do? Do you want to set it on autopilot to take off and then?
Yeah, I think the plan is set it on autopilot, it goes off, and then meets up with...
You will need will need a remote. The captain will tell you that. You need a remote pilot.
Couldn't I just put a brick on the pedal?
just drive it right into the colony. End of season.
Yeah. Can't come to the planet now, can you, Icarus?
Yeah.
There is no planet.
Boom. So a day and a half is not the sort of thing you can just kind of A-team montage secretly in a shed.
Mm.
No.
Is Wendy's.
Annoyingly, we need to. But see, the doc's not feeling good about diplomacy because he struck out.
Yeah.
But he knows that that's kind of what they've got to try and do now is try and get someone on side.
Zam's going to need probably Wendy and Blaze to help him if he can't smooth talk some other engineers. But all of these things will probably cost. These things are now sort of like, you want me to do this? Well, it could cost me my job, so it's going to cost you some money.
Well, I'm broke.
Yeah.
So who's going to be negotiating getting this shuttle?
Well, apparently my negotiating style is a little aggressive.
There's one guy you've already met who said he can get you anything for the right price.
Is it Mr. Banjo, is it?
And I'm broke.
All right, I'll agree to meet with him.
So
in that case, then I take it Zam's going to know this is going to cost money. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to give the black credit card to Doc and just say, "You might need this."
How the fuck did you get one of these?
Yeah, Doc,
they're on the Icarus.
You know what these things are.
Yeah.
These are.
You found it.
Yeah.
Just on the floor in the corridor.
And I think it belonged to the captain.
Let's never speak of this again.
Yeah, knock yourself out. Buy yourself something nice, Toots.
I hate you so much.
When you tap him on his arse.
You give him a little tap as he walks away.
Okay. Okay, Doc. So you can go off and you meet Banjo for the first time. This guy that sort of he looks
I'd quite like to have Blaze or Wendy with me.
Yeah, I feel like we'd
Maybe
go with
take
him
Blaze.
to do the introduction.
Yeah. Also, because I might need some muscle.
yeah.
Okay.
So you
I
meet
might lurk.
yeah. You
But
meet
not very
him.
Well, me up.
And you realise this guy sort of meets. You know, he's not always. He is a worker there, but he sort of hangs around in sort of the shadier corners, and occasionally the gym, sort of fixing fights and stuff like that. But you do meet him, and he sees Blaze first. That wall of muscle. All right, you're here to don't check up on me. Don't worry. I've sorted it out, if you know what I mean. So
No, I trust you.
yeah.
I'm vouching for Doc here. He wants to ask you some stuff.
Oh, a doctor, eh?
Yes, well. Pleasure to.
You want some
Meet
drugs,
you.
do you?
No.
They're for mugs, mate. Now, if you want a gun, nah, I'm only joking. What can I do for you, Doctor?
Ease off, Blaze. We need a shuttle with cryopods. And I'm told you're the person to ask who can get us things.
Well, I know that is certainly true. You've been told the truth there. I must say, after my dealings with your crewmates over the past couple of days and this particular thing, I'm a bit worried you've all banged your heads somewhere. And I'd normally send you all to the doctor, but you're the doctor. So if this shuttle is to get you the fuck off this colony as soon as possible, then we can talk. So, what are you looking for? You looking for one of the skivs, or you want something like one of the buses that they used to? I can help you out. What do you want?
Something space worthy. with cryopods. That's all we need.
Oh, of course, yeah. Yeah, you want to have sweet dreams when you're out there in the black, don't you? Well, I mean, this is all quite pricey. Obviously,
I have no doubt.
I'm not a ship dealer. This isn't something, you know, I don't have some in my shed that I can pull out for you, but
Blaze, does
maybe...
he always talk this much?
Ooh, I'd be careful how you talk to me, Doctor.
Yeah, the price goes up if you insult him.
Time and kindness is money. So, look, I'm a busy man, you're a busy man, clearly. I tell you this. I could possibly get you access to one of those bigger shuttles out there if you want. But as your stocky friend here knows, it ain't gonna be cheap. When you gonna be leaving?
Few days.
Where you going to?
You don't need to know.
Maybe I do. Maybe I need something delivered.
This is the delivery run.
Well, this isn't
Where
going.
it is.
This isn't going to a supermarket.
This is a one-way trip.
Oh, yeah, that kind of group, are you? Oh, fucking hell. Well, maybe not then. Just cash it is then. It's going to cash you a couple $100,000.
Have you got that kind of money, Doc? I'm all tapped out.
Yeah, what is it, Doc? With that PhD, did you get bottomless pockets as well?
You have no idea what I've got. I pull out the black card. And I say, do you know what this is?
The colour drains from his face a little bit when he sees it. Fucking hell. Is that real?
Yes.
And he reaches out for it.
Nope.
Where'd you...
This. You get the ship. This is yours. Not before. We get the ship. You get this.
Fucking hell, big man. You should have brought the doc with you when you were negotiating last time.
I didn't know he had that.
Instead of that...
Where the fuck did you get that?
Apparently it was found.
Because we're doing a little bit of persuasion here, make an intellect check with advantage. See how this goes. See how this
Feels
goes.
medicine.
What else have you got, Doc? What else have you got?
I've got zoology. He's like an animal. Surgery.
No.
Chemistry.
No.
Okay. Well. Fucking hell.
What'd you get?
Did you do it with advantage?
Yeah. So even if they're both failures, do I have to take the lower of the two? Because I rolled a 97 and a 66. Again.
You had advantage, so it would be the lower of the...
So I crit failed again. I hate negotiation.
Add another...
Hate these fucking dice.
Add another stress and roll on that panic table.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
What did you...
No, I haven't rolled it yet. That is a 1.
1.
That's not good.
That is the only roll on this panic table that is good.
That is good. Hey, well done, PJ.
I thought you fucking died then.
Laser focus. So you have advantage on all rolls for the next 10 minutes. And you got another shot to convince him. What do you say before you get another roll? Look, this can't be on the up and up. You people can't have a card like that, surely.
No questions. You didn't even see us.
Well,
You don't know who we are.
well, damn right, I don't fucking want to know who you are after what you've been asking me for. Make your intellect check with advantage. Come on.
If I fail this again,
The
Then we're all
spiral.
doomed.
I'm dragging
come on,
you
guys,
into the
let's do
boxing
this.
ring. If you do.
Let's fucking do this. Not that one. Oh, fuck. That was an 87. But these dice, 14.
Keep
Oh.
those dice. They're
Yeah.
the special friends.
They are. Thank you, Lizzie.
Also, PJ, that reaction, I can feel the rest of the players, just their hearts were in their mouths.
Fuck me.
He's
Fucking
like,
game. Why do I do it?
like, right, fair enough. Fair enough. So you didn't come to play. So, fine. I'll get you onto that ship. That's it. That's it. I'll get you access to that ship. Do with it what you want. Frankly, if they catch you and fucking blow your heads off, that's fine with me. But I'll get you access to that ship. And then I want that fucking card.
You'll have it.
So, this will take place the day after you get the explosives. So, well done, Doc.
Mate.
He stared down the barrel then, didn't he? But just goes to show you, viewers, a natural 1 in a panic check. Yeah. I allowed him to get that. That's pretty much the only good result on a panic table in Mothership. So be afraid, be very afraid.
Exhausted.
Penultimate episode, people. Let's see where we get from here. So you get things situated. So players, what have we got right now? Let's talk through this. You've got. Tell me what you got.
We've got the explosives.
10 explosives and a detonator.
Explosives and a detonator.
Mm-hmm.
We've
Two
got
different recorders.
Short range detonator.
things.
we've got the split recordings, and we've got a radio jammer.
Yeah.
And we should have a shuttle as well.
And you have access to that shuttle. And the game is afoot. So, is it go time on trying to... How are you going to go about this next bit?
What does access to the shuttle look like? Is it like key cards, or we're just waved through?
When you can drive out to your ship. You know the sort of route to get out there. He can get you out there and to the ship, and then he's going to fuck off and leave you there. Clandestine sort of meetings out the back way. You will have to get in the ATV altogether and go down there.
And we've got keys to the... I'm assuming it's keys.
Yeah, you have access to the shuttle. Yeah.
Okay.
He's pretty much going to say, there you go, there it is, there's the keys, card please, and then he's gone.
And we're kind of not going to be disturbed particularly unless we do something.
He's not. Yeah, he's not. Yeah.
What's the range on that radio jammer?
Radio jammer. Renders incomprehensible the radio signals of all within 100 kilometers. So it'll do the job.
Fuck, that's the entire place, isn't it?
Yeah. But you know that the entire place is having troubles with its signals anyway.
Well, it's just if there's any security that's wanting to, like, hey, what's going on out there? They can't radio each other if we turn on that radio jammer.
Yeah.
It's my military training, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. So, who's doing what on this particular... The day has come. Banjo is set up.
We need to strip the cryopods out first, don't we?
Well, yeah, you haven't got there yet. This is the day of going out to that shuttle. Banjo's told you where to meet, and like there's him and another guy are gonna drive you out there.
Are we able to get hold of like tools to be able to strip it?
You'll have tools. You've got tools in your ship as well.
Yeah,
anyway,
Zam's
so.
got his toolbox anyway.
Shit.
Yeah. Because you're
Got loads of welders and stuff.
Yeah. And you're not letting anyone know that you're doing this, are you? So you're essentially going to be out there. For all the rest of the colony knows, you're sleeping in your quarters. You just happen to be a bit stealthy about it. But Banjo's got it covered as long as he gets that black card. So who's going on this particular mission? Who's being left behind? The NPCs. What are you doing with the survivors? Are you keeping them there for now?
I think we want to have at least one of them with us at all times, don't we? Just for, alarm purposes.
Yeah.
I would imagine that'd be Sarah. And that you'd be looking after her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Doc.
So Doc, you're going with them, but you're going to take Sarah with you?
Yeah, the Doc hates it, but yeah.
Zam will go with his toolbox.
Okay. And Blaze and Wendy? Both?
I thought we were going with Zam to help.
Yeah, do welding.
I mean, you're all essentially going to... I mean, Doc, are you going with them to venture to this shuttle? Are you all going to go as one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll all be travelling as a group. So Wendy and Blaze, you'll obviously have the explosives with you.
Is the captain coming with us?
She can do, yeah.
Maybe the captain and Roy stay and very publicly have lunch and just are seen around town.
Yeah, perfect. And of course she says
or we might call on her for a bit of navigational trajectory planning stuff.
Yeah. Now Zam, when you get out to my ship, I know what the plan is. You keep that goddamn explosive away from Susie, okay? And check and make sure the guys that are sleeping, they're doing okay.
Yeah. You know what we're doing.
Cool. Well, I've got to go. I gotta go check up on, see what's happening with my android. So, just be safe out there, okay? Doc, look after. I know I don't need to tell you, but I'm gonna say it anyway because I'm a mother. Look after that girl, okay?
See if you can get Bernice back.
Let's not push our luck, Sam.
I'll do what I can, okay? And the captain agrees to obviously make a bit of a public show of being with Roy. She's obviously got a couple of jobs she's going to do herself. Then you meet up with Banjo and another. He's like
Are we taking Quill with us as well then?
Quill's gonna. Do you want to leave Quill behind with Roy?
Is he too high profile?
He's pretty high profile, so he would be quite a good distraction in terms of like. He doesn't like to do it. One thing you did know is like he's an ex-sportsman that's sort of like, because he's not a big fan of his sport. But in this occasion, he'll be like, yeah, I'll step up and do. If you need me to be the distraction, I'll be the distraction. So the only person you're taking with you is Sarah, who's nervous but prepared to do whatever. And you meet up with Banjo and a sort of pretty tall, broad-shouldered woman, sort of dark skin. She doesn't say much, but she's like, "Is this them?" "Yeah, this is them." "None of you get car sick, do you?"
No.
"Good. Because I really don't give a fuck. And this is going to be a bumpy ride."
I like her.
She starts like... You all have to put on the hazard suits, of course, because you're going out in the external. But they're not big, bulky suits, of course. But they do give you 7 AP. They do give you 7 armor points. Everyone takes those, and she leads you around. And there's sort of like a... Rather than... You saw like some of these ATVs that were like parked up in the main bay. But they lead you around. You know, it seems like they're leading you on a wild goose chase till they get to like a small place where she pulls off this tarpaulin and there's this big, chunky looking ATV. Enough for everyone and all your gear. And you all settle in. Right then. Before we set off, do you bring that card with you, Doc?
I have it.
Good. Just checking. What card's that? Never you fucking mind, just drive.
Idiot.
And sure enough, the engine starts, and you'll. Before they do so, of course, there is a point where the female sort of speaks on a radio, asking to see if it's all clear. There seems to be some sort of... There is a short-range communication, making sure that the coast is clear for them to do this. Before she shoots out, the car shoots out, and all of a sudden, over the rough terrain, heading towards the Susan O'Brien and the shuttles that you purchased. Well, you see, you purchased. You're going to have access to. As you head off, and you're sat in the backs, as you're in the sort of the back, and you're seeing the colony sort of disappear in the background. Could all of you roll a D100, please?
Not against anything. We're just rolling.
Not against anything. This is purely a luck roll for me to see.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not a stress roll either.
Oh, they're all stress rolls, Vince.
Okay. What do we get? Zam?
47.
47. Wendy?
77.
Okay. Blaze?
68.
Okay. Doc?
4.
4.
Oh!
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna
Now it
Super
comes
chill.
out.
Super chill.
Oh, I'm going to make a... Well, I made a roll for Sarah and she got 100. As you drive away, as you're heading out and you're just sort of looking out the back, and Sarah's the first one to see it, and she sort of just taps you on the shoulder, Doc. And Zam, you notice her doing this as the other. As Wendy and Blaze are just checking, you're keeping an eye on the explosives, making sure everything's there, all the gear you have is proper, and the military, let's check, double check, make sure everything's good. But Doc, you're like, as Sarah goes, Doctor, can you see that? And as you're sort of pulling away, and just out, almost where you were, where the Jeep turned out from, Zam and Doc both notice this. There's a figure standing there. And they seem to be holding up goggles towards you. Some sort of binoculars. And they look down and you see there's another... Is there another figure just behind them? One thing you do notice, one thing you're sure of, doesn't look like anyone that works on this place. There's no security garments. There's nothing. There's like a sort of tarpaulin sort of hood. It's almost like a ragged sort of like water poncho in some way, sort of slightly torn. And there seems to be a bit. There's a hazard suit mask on their face, much like you see that the hazard suits that Banjo and the driver are wearing. It's a hazard suit sort of mask. And I think Doc, you got 14, didn't you? Or 4? 4. So you did, with your eyes, you just noticed this before the sort of the sand makes it too blurry to see. The figure that sort of holds down the sort of binocular, part of the mask is sort of torn in some kind of way on their face, almost as if like part of the mask is melted. And you see them just look at the Jeep before turning and walking back into the colony. And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode of Safe Space.
Oh.
What the fuck?
And I think it might be the Fremen, and we're on Dune.
With their eyes blue.
Ah, all hail the spice. It must flow after all, as did the gameplay in this week's episode. Thank you again to my wonderful players. There was a lot of RP and a lot of figuring out different things this week, so we hope you enjoyed it, viewers. I certainly enjoyed playing it. And in a moment, once we finish recording, I'm going to just check on my players, make sure they're okay. But as always, a big thank you to you for watching, to Elliot Red for the wonderful intro, the Safe Space intro music that we enjoy so much, to Tabletop Audio for the background music that you hear through the whole session. Definitely check out his Patreon. It's just amazing ambience that you can use in your own games. So it's brilliant stuff. As always, Gav Mitchell did our lovely intro credit sequence. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Chef's kiss. And but where can you find our players? In the Ethernet, whatever that is. Take it away, Jim.
Twitter at JimBob1978.
Twitter at Lizzie Boyle says. Also, an extra shout out to me, because today, which is not the day today, episode 1 of a brand new podcast has been launched, which is Ski Shoot Repeat .podbean.com, also on Twitter at Ski Shoot Repeat. Go and have a look.
I'm writing that down. I may have been privy to this sort of announcement, but
I'm not going to tell you anything about it. Just go and listen.
That is,
it's awesome.
That is
it's only 20 minutes.
That is hugely exciting. That is hugely exciting. Oh, speaking of exciting, Gav.
I mean Twitter, but other socials.
Social media.
Social media. It's all the same handle.
Yeah.
Bob Goblin.
Yeah, I think it's safe to use the same handle, because then you can just say social media, and it's kind of evergreen then, isn't it? In some kind of way.
Shit.
Yeah. Gav's doing a lot of like Blood Bowl painting at the moment, and I can't get enough of it.
I've not even played a game yet.
I never have. I've always been interested in it, but I wouldn't understand the rules. He says, being a warden
so
of it.
dense.
Yeah. Speaking of dense, I'm only joking, PJ. Where can they find you? Hey, we established 3 episodes ago that you always call me a prick.
But I never insult your intelligence.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Your morals.
Oh, well, yeah, fair enough. And that's fair game, to be fair. PJ, take it away.
Twitter until it's burned to the ground, I guess. PJ Montgomery. I wasn't able to get the same handle on Instagram because some other fucker had taken it. So I'm PJM82 on there, which is, what can you do? There's some radio DJ in Australia called PJ Montgomery, and he is my eternal enemy because he beat me to it on Instagram.
You're the only PJ for us, PJ. And you.
Well, me and what's his name, PJ and Duncan.
just ant and deck.
Why have you got? Why have you got to end the show on that? Right. Join us next week, folks, for the finale of Safe Space. It's going to be an epic one because our party are going to try and save a colony from an oncoming threat. But what other threats are there out there that they don't quite know about? Well, you'll obviously find out when you watch the show, but that's not the point. But find me on social media at Just the Diablo and follow the show at Safe Space RPG, especially for more news because we'll be releasing audio of this as well fairly soon. So. We're attacking your eyes and your ears. I'm going to end this now. Anyway, have a great week, folks. No matter where you are in the world, we all love you very much. Keep playing your games. Keep having fun. And as always, stay safe. Bye, everyone.
Bye.